In the dim, smoke-filled haze of a rundown bar on the outskirts of Chicago, where the neon lights flickered like dying stars and the jukebox wailed forgotten blues, a group of tattooed thugs burst through the door, their eyes wild with the kind of rage that only comes from too much booze and bad decisions. But what if I told you that the quiet black man nursing a whiskey at the corner stool wasn't just any patron? He was a ghost from the shadows of America's deadliest elite force, and this night was about to explode into a whirlwind of vengeance and revelation. Buckle up, folks in the USA and UK, this is the kind of pulse-pounding tale that keeps you up at night, questioning every stranger in the room. If you're hooked already, and I know you are, smash that subscribe button right now for more edge-of-your-seat stories delivered straight to your feed. Don't miss out, or you'll regret it when the twists hit harder than a freight train. The bar was called Rusty Nail, a dive joint tucked away in a forgotten alley where the wind howled like a banshee and the patrons were as rough as the splintered wooden counters. Marcus Kane sat there, his broad shoulders hunched over a glass of cheap bourbon, his dark skin glistening under the faint glow of a hanging bulb. He looked like any other guy trying to drown his sorrows, mid-40s, dressed in a worn leather jacket and jeans, his eyes distant, as if replaying memories from a life long buried. But Marcus wasn't just any man. He was Colonel Marcus Kane, retired Delta Force commander, a legend in the shadows of special operations, with more confirmed kills than most units combined. He'd led raids in the deserts of Iraq, extracted hostages from Afghan strongholds, and dismantled terrorist cells in the jungles of Colombia. Now, he sought anonymity, a quiet life away from the ghosts of war. Little did he know, tonight would drag him back into the fire. The gang stormed in like a pack of wolves, 5 of them, led by a burly Latino named Rico, his face scarred from prison brawls, a gold chain dangling like a noose around his neck. They were the Vipers, a local crew dealing in drugs and extortion, terrorizing the neighborhood for years. Rico's eyes scanned the room, landing on Marcus. "Hey, you, yeah, the black guy in the corner. This is our turf now. Pay up or get out." The bartender, a wiry old man named Joe, froze behind the counter, knowing better than to intervene. The other patrons, a couple of truckers and a lone woman nursing a beer, averted their eyes, the air thick with tension. Marcus didn't flinch. He took a slow sip, his voice calm as a still pond. "I'm just here for a drink, friend." "No trouble." Rico laughed, a guttural sound that echoed off the walls, and pulled a gleaming 9mm from his waistband, pointing it straight at Marcus's head. The gang fanned out, one blocking the door, another smashing a bottle for emphasis. "You deaf, essay. I said pay up." The gun's barrel hovered inches from Marcus's temple, the click of the safety echoing like a death knell. Unbeknownst to them, Marcus's mind was already in overdrive, assessing threats. Rico, armed and aggressive. The skinny one by the door with a knife. The big brute with brass knuckles. 2 others, twitchy, probably high on meth. Delta training kicked in. Observe, orient, decide, act. In a blur faster than a striking cobra, Marcus's hand shot up, grabbing Rico's wrist and twisting it with surgical precision. The gun fired wildly into the ceiling, plaster raining down like snow. Rico howled in pain as his arm snapped like a twig. Marcus rose, his movements fluid, lethal, a predator unleashed. He drove his elbow into Rico's throat, silencing him mid-scream, then spun to face the others. The skinny one lunged with his knife. Marcus sidestepped, disarming him with a chop to the forearm, the blade clattering to the floor. He followed with a knee to the gut, dropping the thug like a sack of potatoes. The bar erupted into chaos. The big brute charged, swinging his brass knuckles. Marcus ducked, grabbing a bar stool and smashing it across the man's knees. Crack! The sound of bones shattering. The other 2 hesitated, pulling their own pieces, but Marcus was already moving. He vaulted over the counter, using it as cover, and grabbed Joe's hidden shotgun from under the bar. "Stay down," he barked at the bartender. Pump-action blasts echoed, not to kill but to wound, legs and arms, precise shots that neutralized without fatality. Delta Creed. Minimum force necessary. But this was no ordinary shakedown. As the last Viper crumpled, clutching his bleeding shoulder, Marcus noticed a tattoo on Rico's neck, a serpent coiled around a dagger, not just gang ink, but a symbol he recognized from his last mission in South America. These weren't local thugs. They were remnants of the cartel he'd dismantled years ago, the one led by El Diablo, a kingpin Marcus had personally put in the ground. How had they found him? Twist 1. Rico gasped, blood bubbling from his lips. You killed my brother. El Diablo sent us. Wait, no, he's dead. But his son, he's coming for you. Marcus's blood ran cold. El Diablo's son. He'd thought the bloodline ended in that fiery raid. He zip-tied the survivors with bar rags, calling 911 anonymously before slipping out the back. But as he melted into the night, his phone buzzed, a burner he'd kept for emergencies. Unknown number. Commander Kane, we've been watching. The Vipers are just the beginning. Meet at the old warehouse, midnight. Come alone. Paranoia set in. Was this a trap? His Delta instinct screamed yes, but curiosity, and a need for closure, pulled him forward. The warehouse loomed like a skeletal giant under the moonlit sky, rain pattering on rusted tin roofs. Marcus approached stealthily, his concealed Glock at the ready. Inside, shadows danced from a single hanging light. A figure emerged. A woman, elegant in a black trench coat, her features sharp, eyes piercing. Colonel Kane, I'm Agent Reyes, CIA. We've got a problem. Twist 2. She revealed files, photos of Marcus's old unit, marked with red X's. 3 former Delta operators dead in the last month, staged as accidents. The Vipers were hired guns, but the puppet master was Victor Diablo, El Diablo's illegitimate son, risen from obscurity with a vengeance-fueled empire. He'd infiltrated U.S. borders, using gangs like the Vipers as proxies. Why me? Marcus growled. Reyes's lips curled. Because you're the one who pulled the trigger on his father. And, because you have a daughter he knows about. Marcus's world tilted. Daughter. He'd left a fling in Colombia during a covert op, never knowing. Twist 3. Reyes slid a photo across. A young woman, mid-20s, spitting image of him, living in London under witness protection. Victor had her location. He's planning to hit her next, unless you stop him. Adrenaline surged. Marcus, the lone wolf, now had stakes. They formed an uneasy alliance. Reyes provided intel. Victor's base in a Chicago high-rise, disguised as a tech firm. Marcus geared up. Old contacts supplied tactical gear, night vision, suppressors. Infiltration at dawn. He scaled the building like a shadow, rappelling up rain-slick walls. Guards patrolled. He took them down silently, chokeholds, tranq darts. Reaching the penthouse, he burst in. Victor waited, smirking, surrounded by armed goons. Ah, the great commander. You took my father, now I take everything from you. A screen flickered. Live feed of Marcus's daughter in a UK flat, oblivious. Guns blazed. Marcus dove, rolling behind. Furniture, returning fire with deadly accuracy. Bodies dropped, blood painting the walls. Victor fled to the roof. Marcus pursued, rain lashing like whips. On the helipad, chopper blades whirring, Victor aimed a rifle. She's already dead, he screamed. Twist 4. Marcus charged, tackling him over the edge. They plummeted, grappling midair. Marcus yanked Victor's parachute cord. Wait, no parachute. They crashed onto a lower balcony, bones crunching. Victor, broken but alive, confessed. The daughter feed was fake, a bluff. But Reyes, she entered, gun drawn. Ultimate twist. Reyes was Victor's mole, CIA corrupted. She'd lured Marcus here to finish the job. Betrayal stung. Marcus disarmed her in a fierce hand-to-hand, her skills impressive but no match for Delta precision. Cops swarmed, tipped off by Marcus's earlier call. Victor and Reyes arrested, the cartel crumbling. Marcus vanished again, but not before an encrypted message to his daughter, stay safe. Father watching. In the end, the quiet man at the bar emerged a hero once more, shadows his only companion. But whispers lingered, was Victor the last? Or just another thread in a web of endless war?